Welcome back. I'm live again. Last week I didn't produce a video. I was just being lazy. Truth be told, I didn't even film my opuses for the majority of the week because I didn't process cells. The reason why I didn't process cells, I was being lazy. I didn't even produce a video, didn't even charge batteries. I'm a bad person. Anyway, this live stream, I'm only going to process cells, like always. Whoop whoop. I got a new microphone. Got myself a little cheerful brew because, why not? My wife bought me these for my birthday, and she put ribbons on every one of them, so it's festive. I got pictures of my home lab that I want to show you guys because I've talked about it a few times, but I have never actually showed you. So I got pictures of that. Sense monitor. I found a way to live cast my phone screen so I can show you guys the sense monitor, see the live usage of the house. I have a lot of usage. Hope everybody... Oh, Sarah Prine is watching. Hi. I just got completely derailed. Anyways, got a lot of cells to process. And my wife is down below me. What are you looking for? Oh, 1 second. Slight delay.
It was all around here. Just do your thing.
Yeah, that's not awkward at all. I guess while she's doing weird stuff and I can't process the cells, I will go through. Sarah says hi. Where's the Santa hat?
Upstairs?
Upstairs. I'm going to go through pictures of the home lab. I know that Sarah will be interested at all, but this YouTube channel is not for her. Sorry. Let's see here. Nice robe, Jody. Yeah, that's my wife. She was sneaking into the picture. Alright, let's see. OBS! Where can I bring this up? Alright. Alright. Let's... Ooh, I got to turn on the second monitor so I can do this. Still preparing, I guess. Alright, while the monitor is turning on, which is actually a TV, let's see if I can transition to it anyway. It is not turning on. There it goes. Yay! Alright, excuse me. Second monitor, transition. Okay, so my home lab, I've briefly talked about this a couple of times, consists of let me move my mouse around. I have, if you follow my mouse, this is my NAS. I have roughly 10 terabytes on it, and it's set up in a way where it's all redundant through RAID 10. So mirror, and then span across the two mirrors. So it's actually fairly quick, and I get storage out of it. And there's 4 drives in there if you didn't catch that. This right here is a Dell R210 version 2. This runs the majority of my network. I have my camera software, which is Blue Iris. It runs on there. I have 3 VMs, I believe. One being a network monitoring server. 2 of the other ones are game servers. Right below it, this server is actually powered off, but it actually has more processing power than the Dell. The Dell is more energy efficient, but since there's 2 processors in the server below it, it just has more raw power. I keep this off and I turn it on when I want to do some just random VMs and things of that sort. This one down here uses about 230 watts. The Dell R210 version 2, it actually uses about 60 to 70 watts. This NAS uses around 50 watts. And then below this server right here, I don't know the model of that right off the top of my head. Let's see if I can zoom in. Whoa! Zoomed in too much. Too much. Here we go. So it's RD220. That actually has 2 Xeon L5620s, I believe, in it. L being low powered. So I tried to go as low powered as possible, but it does use up a lot of power, even with the low energy Xeons in there. And then below that, this is my direct storage device. Each one of these are 2 terabytes, and there's 12 of them total. And this hooks up to the Dell R210. So the R210 is actually a file server as well, and it's all my YouTube content goes on there. A backup of my media files, things of that sort go on there as well. My VM hard drives are stored on there. This is set up as a giant RAID 6. On the back of this device, this is a Lenovo SA120. It's a great device. I love it. On the back of it, you actually have 4 bays of 2.5-inch drives that you can put in there as well. So not only do you have the 3.5-inch drives up here, you can use the bays in the back. I actually have an SSD in one of the bays in the back, and I use that SSD to cache the RAID 6 array, so the files are very snappy. There's very low latency on it. It actually works out pretty darn good. You guys are probably not super interested in the homelab stuff, but my channel is going to be a little bit about solar, a little bit about everything that I do, a little bit about batteries. My home lab is going to be on here, and networking stuff. So the next picture I have is actually the back side of the rack. In the back side of the rack, you'll see I have the majority of the network stuff back here. So I have a Ubiquiti. Oh gee, what's the model number of that? Don't remember the model number off the top of my head, but it's a Pro Edition. It's got 3x3 MIMO on it, so it works out pretty darn good. It's actually very quick. Covers my whole house, even though it's in the basement. It'll actually reach up on my second story, and I can pull 120 megs per second off of that access point. Ubiquiti makes very good stuff. The controller software for that access point runs on that Dell R210. Right below that, we have my main network core switch. This is a Dell enterprise grade switch. The first 24 ports are PoE+. The second 24 ports are just gig with no PoE. So these are all gig. All 48 ports are gig. And the first 24 PoE+, and then the second 24 are not PoE at all. And then I have 4 SFP plus ports here for 10 gigabit. I'm going to put 10 gigabit going to my server, but as of right now, I don't have it. I do actually have a patch panel that I'm going to put in as well to clean this up. The wiring's kind of potato right now, but anyway. Below it is a Ubiquiti Edge router PoE. So my main internet is wireless. I run a wireless ISP. I mentioned that before. But it powers my antenna for my internet, and then it also just uplinks into my switch. So it's basically doing all the routing for the entire house. And I actually have some scripts on there to do whole house DNS filtering, so it blocks any malware or any malicious websites for any device that is in the network. And then so it doesn't matter if it's a mobile device or whatever, it's going to actually block any threats. It's decent. The scripts are kind of clunky. They're not really user friendly. I have a spare server that I'm going to actually convert to pfSense and put that up as my main router, because then I can actually do a little bit better URL filtering and that sort of thing. But for right now, that actually works pretty good. And I actually had it on hand because when I first started my ISP, I was using that for everybody. And when I upgraded my Edge router for the entire WISP, I went ahead and did a pfSense box for my entire WISP. So, yeah, I'm going to basically get rid of that device. It's really, really good. It has gig interfaces. It's very snappy. And for just a regular router, it's pretty darn good. I don't have any complaints about it. I just want to do more advanced features, and I can do that with pfSense, and it doesn't cost me anything. So, there's this little gray box here. It's a service called UMA. When they first came out, they were a free service for all VoIP. They're not free anymore. And plus, I know how to do VoIP myself now. But since my account is grandfathered in, I'm using that for a free home phone until it dies. It's got like a little answering machine on it and everything. Don't really use all the features on it, but it is what it is, and I don't plan on getting rid of it until it dies. I'm actually going to do a full review of the Dell Switch. Hardware-wise, switching back to the Dell Switch. Hardware-wise, it's a very, very rock-solid device. Interface-wise, I'm a Cisco guy. All of my stuff at work is Cisco. I love the command line. The command line for the Dell is just garbage. And everything has to be done through the web interface. And the web interface is slightly better than the command line interface. But I'll do a full review on it. I don't want to drag on too much about it. Anyways, let's switch back to the main stream. Boom! I'm all festive. Got the Christmas hat going. Alright. Hopefully the mic's working out good for you guys. I know my last few videos, the mic was really, really bad. And it was driving me insane. So, not only did I grab this new mic, I actually configured some noise reduction because my homelab that I just showed you generates a decent amount of noise. And my furnace kicks on and everything like that. So I set up a sound gate, so anything below a certain volume just doesn't get recorded. I also set up some noise reduction, so it basically set up a profile of the noise environment down here, and it just cancels that out. So hopefully this new sound setup works out pretty good. I actually got in another tote of batteries from work. We randomly found a whole bunch of laptops that had XP on them, so we disposed of them, and we got rid of everything of that sort. You know what? I don't feel like cracking open sales quite yet. I kind of want to show off the Sense monitor since I talked about it. That, and I think it's kind of cool. I could stream the screen on my phone. So let me pull this up. Ooh, what is that? Bam! There's my phone. Ooh, woo. You can see me and the screen of the phone. So Sense Energy Monitor. We are going to just quickly go over this. I won't do an in-depth overview, but I kind of wanted to show off if anybody that's doing a solar project wants to know what their house is currently generating. This software is actually pretty darn cool. And even if you're just generally curious about what you're using in your house, this would do it for you. So you can see right now we're using 6,000 watts, well 6,500 watts, and this will graph it for you. You could switch to this like overview bubble view, which is kind of goofy. I just generally go for the graph because I love graphs. You can go to the usage screen, and this will show you trends for the week, and you can dive into that, and then look at your daily usage. Scroll through the devices, get a good feel for how much each device is using per day, and you can actually swipe through the days. You get your total energy usage, a graph of when it was used, what devices are using it, etc. And then you get your weekly, and it still breaks it down by device, how much it uses, and how much total usage was for the house. And then you can just swipe through the weeks, see what's going on. It's very, very useful for pinning down big energy devices. And it'll actually help me figure out what I want to put on my off-grid solar system. My homelab definitely is going to be on there for the first thing, plus some things that I want on backup. So you can go back months. You can see before I put in solar. So I had there's a 2,400 kilowatt hours, 2,100 kilowatt hours. And you can see at the end of this, end of September, I actually started putting my panels in, with my current test setup. And it actually, you could see how much it's trimmed off my usage already. Now granted, it's not perfect. I discussed that in the last video, but it does seem to help. But I just want to quickly show the Sense energy monitor and how useful it is. It's really easy to set up. There's 2 CT clamps that you put on your mains. Boom, boom. Just clamp around them, and then you plug it into a 220 circuit breaker. Flip it on. Get it on your Wi-Fi. Create an account, and then the rest from there is just you can use the app. They recently released it, so you can go to a web page and see the same information. I've pulled it up a couple of times. I tend to use the app on my phone a little bit better. This is live usage again, which you can get off the main screen. What else? Oh, devices. So like I said, I'm not going to spend a full review on this, but this part of the app, you can just see, like it says AC2. I'm pretty sure that was just mislabeled. You can actually go into the device and put down that, like, let's see here, mystery device. So it thought it was an AC, but it's really not. Okay, so Sense, real quick, Sense is a machine learning. It will actually, for the most part, detect the devices on its own. So like the dehumidifier, the dryer, the fridge, hot water heater, it found all that by itself. It does get confused because their database isn't full rich of devices yet, and it's trying to figure out each device by the signature of the device on the electrical lines. So it's not precise yet until they get more data. But it found the dishwasher, even my fridge light, which is kind of cool. Furnace, all these heaters and all these ACs actually are probably like I got a dehumidifier. When it's not actually drawing the moisture out of the air, it runs a fan, so it might think that the fan portion of that is an AC or whatever. I just haven't gone through and figured them out yet. But anyway, I'm using a gigantic 12,000 watts right now. So hopefully that somebody found that interesting. And you know, hopefully that helps them out. Maybe they use that for identifying things on their home power as well. Woohoo! Apparently I'm very festive. So I know it's not Christmas yet, and the reason why I'm saying Merry Christmas and I'm festive this video is tomorrow I have a Christmas party. The next day is obviously Christmas, and from there we actually will probably go up to Michigan for another Christmas party. Well, not party, but Christmas for the family, because we missed the party for my wife's family. So I probably won't do another video until after Christmas is over. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope everybody has a good time, gets everything they need. I'm going to process some cells, because that's what I always do on my my channel while I'm live streaming, because I have to do this anyway. Oh, I got my 18650 shirt, if you haven't already noticed, which you probably already have, because I'm a dinkus and I didn't point it out in the beginning. So far I have a YouTube shirt, 18650 shirt, and a caution I have no idea what I'm doing shirt. I plan on randomly wearing them as I'm doing things. Apparently my wife says Merry Christmas. We actually have the dryer going down here in the basement, and we have a reclaimer on the dryer. It actually helps out a lot to warm it up down here, because in the winter, it gets down to probably 60 degrees down here. When with that reclaimer on the dryer, we actually will bring the temperature up probably a degree or so. Works pretty good. Works pretty good. So last time I talked about inverters, I kind of still am on the fence about what I want to use. I'm thinking the Ames inverter. I did some research on YouTube, you know, random people reviewing them. There's a couple guys on there that were saying that the leads on the inverter, not on the DC side, but on the AC side, were actually backwards. So I don't know if there's some quality control issues on the Ames inverters. Gee, Merry Christmas. But that's one thing I did see a couple people point out, that they were backwards, and they just redid the leads themselves, and ever since then it's pretty good. The one thing I do like about the Ames, the sine wave, the pure sine wave on it actually is pretty darn decent. It doesn't clip the sine wave. It's pretty clean. So I was actually looking into that. I do want a very clean inverter. I don't want a dirty inverter. I want sine wave. And honestly, for the price of the sine wave, for the price of the Ames inverter, let's go ahead and pull this up real quick, because I got some links ready to share with you guys. Ames. There we go. And transition. So this is the biggest Ames inverter they make. It's a good inverter. But for the price, I'm kind of thinking, why wouldn't I just go with like a Snyder? I think it was Snyder Electric. You know, why couldn't I just do something like Outback Solar, for example? For that price, I could get an Outback Solar. In fact, let's see here. I think I saved. Yep. Outback Solar. Yeah, so I can grab an Outback Solar. It's not as many watts, but it's a very well-known inverter. And it's stackable. I'm pretty sure that I could trust that. I mean, Ames sounds like a good inverter, but kind of tossing that around for the price. And then, if I really wanted to, I can go the cheaper route and do like a cheaper Chinese inverter. This one looks like a Ames knockoff. 12,000 watts. I mean, it looks exactly like the Ames, well, except for the color. Looks basically like the Ames. Let's see here. So we got Ames here. We get a top-down view of it. Well, that doesn't really help. There's a better picture of this. Anyway, it basically looks the same as the Ames, but with a different brand on it, so I don't know what that is. I can go cheaper like that. And for that price, if I have to modify it a little bit or whatever, if it has a small defect and I have to fix it, I probably wouldn't care as much. But when you're getting split phase and you're getting high wattage, do you go with the slightly cheaper, save some dollars, or do you go with the name brand like Magnum or Snyder? Like, is it Snyder? I keep saying Snyder, but I want to say that I'm saying that wrong. Anyway, do you go with the well-known name? I don't know. I'm just kind of on the fence about the inverter, and I probably will be until I pick something out and actually ultimately go with it. Another thing I'm always thinking about is, do I just start off with a small inverter to get my my homelab off the grid and just go from there? I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about it. But if you guys have any suggestions of a good split phase inverter that doesn't cost a bazillion dollars, let me know. I know there's a couple guys on the Facebook group that is buying the AIMs. I'm kind of using their experience, waiting for their experience to kind of determine what I'm doing. Because honestly, I can wait. That, and I'm glad I waited for the Batrium stuff, because a lot of the Batrium stuff looks like it's getting a pretty decent upgrade by the time I'm going to purchase it. So that's always good. Fun fact, Christmas hat is over 17 years old. Yes, this is my wife's hat. It's actually, it's got some years on it. It's got some dings in it, some imperfections, like the ball on top is actually like wired in right now because it fell off a couple of times. It works. It's fun. Kids enjoy it. I hope everybody has some good Christmas plans. Hope everybody's safe during the Christmas time of year. And then right after Christmas is New Year's. Definitely be safe on New Year's. You never know who's not being safe. Previously my wife and I would actually go out on a date every New Year's. And for the most part, it snowed every time we went out on a date. And it always got me nervous. I never really told her that, but it always got me nervous because you never know what these people are going to be, you know, driving around half sloshed on some slippery roads. But be safe is what I'm getting at. I don't know if with the kids and everything, I don't know if we'll get to go out and do the dates like we used to previously, but I'm gonna try. She's probably not watching right now, so I can probably get away with saying that. See, my feed, my live feed, is not as fun as Pete's. He's doing all kinds of fun stuff, like, you know, mining bitcoins and, well, mining other cryptocurrencies to convert it to bitcoins. I just have fun processing cells, trying to show you guys some random stuff that I have. Like last time I got to show you my bucket truck. Oh, speaking of bucket truck, I didn't mention it last time because I kind of just wing things on my live feed. It actually has a 50-foot boom. I don't know if I mentioned... Well, I didn't mention that last time. But, yeah, it's a 50-foot boom on it. It actually works out pretty darn good. I don't have any issues with it, other than it being slow in the colder months. During the summer months, I could zip around in it. The hydraulics were nice and fast and everything. Hopefully opening these cells with the new mic isn't too bad. I didn't think about that. That might be really loud. Sorry. So these Samsung cells, they're the Samsung ICR18650-26C. These were in a HP laptop that was sitting on a shelf. It looked brand new. The OS sticker on the back was for Windows XP Professional. So I'm kind of curious how they turn out. All the cells were 1.2 volts when I first plugged them in to the Opus. They're actually looking like they're getting ready to top off. They're right around 4.2 volts right now. So it should start discharging them soon. But hi, Keith. Is the whack pretty loud now? It's either I use the mics on the webcam, which are surprisingly pretty decent. It has 2 of them, or I use this mic, which I think actually picks up my voice a lot better. This mic, I kind of bought it for myself as a birthday present, slash Christmas present. My birthday's on the 21st, so I kind of bought that for myself. Sorry, wifey. Oh, Keith, I was referring to my last streams. The microphone was always kind of crap, and now I've kind of toned out the background noise as much as possible and set up a sound gate to block some of the lower sounds. Anyway, this was $35 on Amazon. It came with the arm, the microphone, all the cords, and it actually has like a little power supply. It's a 48-volt Phantom power supply. I'm not big into microphones, so I'm not really sure what the Phantom is all about, but when I was reading about it, that's the way to go. You can buy some higher-end ones, like a $100 Blue Yeti or whatever, and they're really good, don't get me wrong. They're probably better than this, but I just wasn't going to spend that money, that much money on okay. First of all, yes, it's Red's hard cider, or apple ale. It's great. I love it. People make fun of me, but I don't care. I love it. The dripping, bubbling sound in the background is my furnace. If I turn up the noise reduction too high, it cuts out the furnace, but it actually cuts out tones of my voice. So you don't hear my home lab anymore, which is behind the camera. I've completely cut that out. But the furnace, I just can't cut it out. It's so loud. But I'm hoping that this is a good compromise. You can still hear my voice, while it's running, because the last video I had, when the furnace kicked on, couldn't hear anything. It was garbage. And there's my wife telling the furnace was running as well. Should make her a moderator, should keep you guys in line. Oh, so my last video, I mentioned that I'm going to try to do the majority of my power wall in Samsung cells. So I went through my 5 boxes of, well, 4 tubs that are full to the brim and 1 box. I went through all the laptop packs that I have. I do not have enough Samsung cells to make the whole power wall Samsung cells. I would love to do it that way and then add a second pack as parallel, and then compare the two. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that, but I'm going to make entire packs, 140p packs, out of Samsungs, and then I'll make entire 140p packs out of Sanyos. And it won't be exactly the same as I was planning in the beginning, but I still should be able to compare pack 1 versus pack 2, and see, are the Samsungs really that much better, or is it just a mind thing? But with that said, Samsung will. But with that said, I am going to only use the Sanyos that I feel comfortable with. Some of the Sanyos that I've tested are just completely trash. I've mentioned it before. The Sanyos with the white ring, the white top, seem okay, and I'll probably end up using the majority of them for packs. For the packs that I can't make Samsung, and we'll just compare them. I'll document it, and I'll keep track of it. This way, we have a true comparison between, you know, entire packs that were Samsung, entire packs that were Sanyo. So not exactly what I wanted to do before. I just don't have too many more Samsungs. I have probably 20 more packs in my box, not including the ones that I have in front of me. So that's probably 3 weeks at the most of processing, and then the rest are going to be Sanyos. This Samsung wall, that would be pretty awesome. Furnace just kicked off, so the weird popping, bubbling sound this probably should be gone. So that's good. I was doing some thinking, and before I buy my off-grid inverter, and before I wire up the off-grid inverter and get everything ready how I want it, I'm probably going to run my cheap Chinese on-grid grid tie inverter for a while. And the reason for that is, I research the crap out of things until I finally give up and go with whatever I'm most comfortable with. But the second part of that is, I know that my Chinese grid tie inverter is only 1,000 watts. So that will give me a good basis on if I have a continuous 1,000-watt draw on it, I can get a good baseline of what the batteries are going to perform. Before I put gigantic loads on it, before I add my homelab and my sump pump and things of that sort. Basically, 1,000 watts, grid tie, which means that anything on that grid tie inverter, anything in the house is going to be basically bouncing around. You know, it may be partially my homelab, it may be a couple of the lights. I really won't know what it's powering, but I will know that it's a constant 1,000 watts. And I might run that for like a month or so, just to get an idea of what the power wall is going to do. Get a good idea of how well it's going to perform. You know, before I go buy an off-grid inverter and tying in more power draw on it. Batrium. Yes, absolutely. The price is high. I've said this in my last video. But with the sound quality in the last video, I have no problem repeating everything. And probably on every video, I'd probably have no problem repeating everything. Yes. I feel that the features that you get with the Batrium far exceed anything else you can get. So yes, I will save up for the Batrium for my BMS. So far, the cheap BMS systems that I've seen other people review just do not impress. Do not impress me. And for the most part, they don't seem consistent. They don't seem reliable. They don't seem consistent. The Batrium stuff, I have no doubt in my mind that they're built right. The feature set is excellent. I like that it's constantly being developed and they're listening to the community for the features they want to be implemented. I think that's a great idea. And I don't really see any other company doing that. So yes, I will go with the Batrium. So before I buy in my inverter, and when I'm testing the power wall, the Batrium system, the Batrium system will be in place firsthand. Batrium. Batrium. I knew that. That's how I was pronouncing it the whole time. It's the microphone. It changes my voice every once in a while, and it makes me mispronounce things. Batrium. I destroy people's names. I destroy product names. There's a lot of things that, you know, being a network administrator / system administrator, that that you read and you use it, you know it, and you never say it out loud until somebody will ask you, well, how's XYZ work? And you finally say it out loud and you're like, I don't think that's right at all. and then you finally look it up. The Batrium stuff, I've heard people say it before, but I've never really locked in on how it was pronounced until somebody had to point it out. Thanks, Keith. This is why I drink. Just joking. So we had awesome snow this morning. My kids and I were outside playing in the snow this morning. Didn't make much power on the solar. Whatever. I think at the most today I was making like 170 watts. The sun came out and it was melting everything. But the parts that I cleared off the solar panels, there we go. They thinned out and the snow started dripping down it. And it just recovered the panels back up. I was hoping that it would just slide right off, but it didn't. But Oh. My wife's being a sneaky Santa while I'm like, oh. Hi. What are you watching it on? Oh, yeah?
So when you're speaking about that, is when I've been speaking down here. Yes.
Oh. Whoopsie daisy. YouTube on the Ep5. YouTube is great, by the way. Oh, I do need to get a long broom. I actually have a broom right now that I think I could just get probably like PVC or something and extend the handle on it. So right now I'm getting up on a stepladder and brushing off about half the panels because I don't want to extend too far off the ladder while, covered in snow. So I think if I get some PVC pipe and extend it, I could probably just do it from the ground. But when I get my full panels up there, when I get all 10 panels up there, I definitely want to have a method of cleaning them. Anyways, we had great amount of snow today. Probably about 2 or 3 inches, but it was super sticky, super compactable. Got to go outside with the kids, make a snowman, snowball fight. That was awesome. That was great. I will probably actually do a live stream next of my... I'll probably dive a little bit more into my home lab, kind of to show off things software-wise that I use. And this time I showed off the hardware and everything. And it's probably using, like I said, grand total. I don't have a grand total without estimating. So I had the NAS, 50 watts. The Dell server below it, probably another... That one's about 60 watts. The other server's turned off, but when it's turned on, it's about 220 watts. The 24 terabyte DAS storage, which was that Lenovo SA120. I don't know how many watts that pulls. So I don't have the wattage for that. And I don't know how much wattage the network gear behind all the servers uses as well. If I had to guess, I'd say I'm using probably about 350 watts total 24/7. That's totally going on. The off-grid inverter, that's totally going on there. I can't monetize my videos yet. They have a weird requirement. So I'm just starting off my channel. I have like 600 views total, almost 700 views total on all of my videos. Until I reach 10,000 views on all of my videos, I cannot give myself a custom URL or custom name. It's kind of just using my my generic Joe V / Joe's Corner name. I would love to just name it Joe's Corner. So I can't use my custom name that I would like to brand the channel, and I'm not allowed to monetize any of my videos until I reach that point. So if you guys want to plug my channel until I get there, that would be fantastic. But yeah, I can't monetize anything. It makes me sad. So even if I wasn't mentioning YouTube 100 times and, you know, giving them mad props and I love their stuff, they can't even demonetize me because I don't have enough views yet. I wish I did. I'll get there. This last week and the upcoming weeks are going to be kind of slow for my channel just because of the time of the year. You know, we're out going to Christmas parties and things of that sort. Driving to Michigan to visit the rest of the family. It's just going to be slow for a while, and then once I get back and once everything gets back to normal, I plan on doing a lot of random videos on top of the live streams that I'm doing. So I do a lot of random things, network-wise, server-wise, homelab, what else? Oh, batteries-wise. I actually would like to make start making the packs, and I'll probably do the packs in videos that I process, because I don't think a lot of it's going to be stream friendly. I might do some like prep work on the streams. You know, I like talking to you guys. I like goofing off on the camera and everything. But I'll probably do a lot of the streams just prep work and getting things ready. And then I'll make actual polished for me videos of actually time-lapse, creating the packs and things of that sort. I doubt that anybody wants to watch me solder up 140p packs. That's gonna be crazy. But yep, all in time, my channel will grow. Did you have enough for... Oh, you're talking about these? I actually have... what did I order? 20 of these, the first batch, and I got these. And then I ordered another 20 of them. I haven't received them yet. But no, to answer your question, no, I do not have enough yet. And with Christmas just happening and everything, I kind of stalled on purchasing anything else because of all the expenses and everything of that sort. But I did see that you're selling them, and that actually might be very cool, because getting them from China takes forever. Yeah, you should post your link and everything. I don't have a ton of views like Peter does. You know, I say Peter, some people may not know, he's HB Powerwall. He's the guy that does push-ups for donations. He's the guy that kind of started the whole YouTubing Powerwall things. There might have been somebody before him, but he's probably one of the most popular. But yeah, you can't do links. Why can't you do links? Need mod. Well, how the heck do I do that? Bam. You're now a moderator. There you go. How about that? Now you can post a link. I have no problem with you posting links, because you sell the wraps, which are great. and you sell a lot of the supplies that we use for the power walls. There you go. Keith is now a mod. Feel the power. Pure power. Yeah, so I'll probably end up buying my next 20 or so cell holders from you. I'm buying them in packs of 20 to keep the cost down, I guess. I don't really have a lot of money to buy a bunch of them at one time, but yeah, definitely be going for you. Yeah, I think I bought my original cell holders through you before I knew you were selling, and before I knew you were part of the Powerwall community. I think I bought these from you. So yeah, these are great. I have one of the what is that called? IMAX BAC blah blah blah. I have one of these stupid things. It's probably not stupid. I just haven't done anything with it. I have one of these, and I was planning on making a charging station with them packs, or with them holders. So, yes, buy everything from Keith. He's a great guy, and he keeps everything in stock for you guys. So, okay, Keith, while you're here, I have to ask. So, your name on, what is it? Maybe it's the Facebook group or whatever. Your name is Keith Big Camera. What's the big camera part about? Do you have like a 4K camera that's like super expensive? What's the story behind that? I look at it every time and I'm like, I'm going to ask one time, and now you're on the spotlight. You have to answer, because there's like 500 million people watching right now, because I'm a YouTube pro, and you have to answer with the pressure of all the audience watching. Super convincing. Was your trail name? So you go on like hiking trips and stuff, and you always took a bigger camera with you? Is that? Wow. Wow. Hike the entire. I'm not going to pronounce that because I'll destroy it. Because I'm awesome at destroying words. I am a professional word destroyer. So you hiked the entire trail. That's impressive. I have never hiked anything, except for like, I hiked to the fridge to grab another refreshing drink. DSLR with 3 lenses in the entire time. Okay, so I see where the name comes from. What DSLR do you have? Funny thing is before I started the YouTube thing, I bought a DSLR because my first DSLR I got in a pawn shop. They thought it was broken because they didn't know how to use it, and it was on manual focus, and they could not get any of the pictures to come out. So I bought my first DSLR. It was a Canon T3i, and I learned how to use it. I learned how to use a DSLR, and I became obsessed with learning new techniques and taking a Pentax K10D. Sweet. Sweet. So yeah, I became obsessed with learning the camera, learning the ins and outs of DSLR, this, that, and the other. And I ended up selling the T3i because I bought it for $100 because they thought it was broken. It came with the kit lens. It did not come with the charger, so I bought like a cheap Chinese like Tiger Power charger or something like that. And I got it up and running. I cleaned the entire thing. Took it off of manual mode. Manual focus, and learn how to use the entire thing. And then the Canon that I sold was the first one, the T3i. I ended up buying a Canon 70D because I was getting into astrophotography. I fiddled around with that for a while. I know that the 70D doesn't have like a super great dynamic range, but it was better than the T3i. And it had a bigger battery, so I could actually use it for a little bit longer when taking long exposures. So yeah, I've never actually used my DSLR to take videos. So starting the YouTube channel, if you watch the first couple videos, they were actually kind of crap for the high quality camera that I had. I had to learn taking videos on a DSLR is not just a matter of flipping it into camera mode and just going. Granted, you get decent quality, but there's a lot to go into it. And I think I got a little bit better. Like the quality right now off of my webcam, I tend to think that I've got it dialed in, and out of the box, it's great, but with a few tweaks and everything that I've learned taking videos, it gets a lot better if you manually dial the settings in. So long story short, I love my DSLR. I'm forcing myself to use it more with the YouTube content, and I'm forcing myself to learn more about it because I never touched any of the video stuff. And I think it's kind of cool. And it's not sitting in the bag collecting dust. Oh, the Pentax does not do video? I guess that wouldn't surprise me. They probably focus on still life. So did you do a lot of landscape photography and things of that sort? Because that's how I started off. I started off doing a bunch of landscape stuff, and like I said, astrophotography. I got a couple Milky Way pictures that are pretty darn cool. I never bought into buying a star tracker. I could have got a lot better pictures, but I just didn't want to make that investment on something that I wouldn't use for more than one hobby. The DSLR, I bought that as a hobby, and I got the benefit of using it for family pictures and things of that sort. And now I got the benefit of using it for the YouTube content. It came out 2 years after I purchased. Oh, that sucks. Isn't that how it works though? Because I bought the 70D when it was mid-life cycle, and about a year and a half, 2 years, right around the same time, they came out with the 80D, and the dynamic range of the 80D is freaking a lot better than the 70D. Canon's kind of falling behind on its DSLR, in my honest opinion. But that's just my opinion. So if I remember right, the Pentax stuff, the Pentax cameras use a Sony sensor in them, correct? If I remember right. Woohoo! I'm woohooing because the stream seemed like it stuttered there for a second, and then it came right back. Yeah, Canon develops their own sensor, which is kind of lagging behind. A lot of these companies are just slapping the Sony sensor in it, and they're putting their own features on top of it. I guess the mirrorless cameras now are kind of putting the DSLRs to shame. Reflection and odd perspective. Yeah, I like the forced perspective of my shots sometimes. I don't really get to travel a lot or go to these exotic places. So I'll take a picture of something, kind of force the perspective of, you know, the water or whatever and make it look exotic. And here it is, you know, it's like a little stream that's down by my house or whatever. I like to force the perspective because I don't really get to go to a lot of exotic places. So yeah, I've done that. I would like to do some reflection shots. I've seen some wedding photography done where they do like reflection of the couple, and that looks really, really cool. And it forces you to believe that like there's a huge lake of water and they're standing beside it and everything, but really it's like a puddle. That looks pretty cool. I think that's a cool technique. Probably not a lot of people in this stream are like, oh, these guys are camera nerds. Sorry, guys. Randomness takes over. So hopefully, the amount of cells I process here, hopefully I have enough for the week. Now, granted, part of the week, if not longer, I may not even be home. But when I get back, at least I will have cells to put in the Opus and capacity chat. When I research it, yeah, the Pentax stuff is actually pretty good. I've never really heard too many horror stories from people complaining about it. Canon is definitely lagging behind in recent years. Probably the last 4 years, to be completely honest. But if I do buy something new, I don't know what I'll get. Right now, I don't have any plans for that. I'm kind of going to focus on my Powerwall. I say a lot. Oh, jeez. I ripped the entire cell wrap on that one. Yeah, I have at least another month and a half of processing cells. I probably will build a pack or so before I'm done processing because I'm getting kind of anxious. I want to build a pack, and then maybe I can set my pack capacity baseline off of the first pack that I build, and just kind of aim for that target. If I have to make one pack a little bit bigger or one pack a little bit smaller, just get around the same capacity, I'm willing to do that. I don't have great cells to pick from. Everything I have is, free. So I probably will build a pack soon, just because I really want to do that portion of it. And I want to share that, guys. Or I want to share that with you guys. Woohoo! Now it's just time to trim the crap off the top of the cells, and I can start putting them in the box. Putting them in the box. Well, this stream has been an hour and about 15 minutes so far. I don't know if you guys are bored yet or not. Build pack for the testers. Build a pack for the testers. What do you mean by that? Explain yourself. Well, you're a moderator. You're allowed to flood the chat. Build a pack for the Opus. I actually have a one of the slots in the Opus is starting to act a little weird. I have a slot that's going bad, which kind of sucks because I've only done probably about 200 cells through that particular one. It's not like I've done a ton, but I've actually starting to see I have to clean the terminals on it and everything to keep it from going to null and detecting the cell that's in it. It will read the voltage, it'll start charging, and then it'll flick null, and then it'll flip back to the voltage, and then null again. And it just kind of gets stuck in a loop. And I normally have to take the cell out of it, clean the terminals a little bit, and then it's fine for a while, but I think that slot is definitely going to go bad on me. Off-grid testing cells with recycled cells. Yeah. All my cells are recycled. They're all very, very old. My wife is bringing me another drink. I can make that one disappear. Yeah. Do you see how many people have viewing me? I'm like a rock star. I think I had up to 6 people or something like that. Yeah. Uh-oh. You're in my way, woman.
Welcome to your life.
Welcome to my life. Anyway, yeah, I honestly think the whole building a pack bug is going to take over, and I'm going to have to build a pack. And then I'll have like I said, then I'll have a baseline of what what capacity I want to do, and I can just shoot for that capacity for the rest of the packs. One of the YouTubers I was watching, well, actually 2 YouTubers I was watching. One of them was Old Time Engineer. Yeah, he actually has, I think it's like 2 or 3 packs where they're bigger than the other packs, but capacity-wise, they're the same. So I seen him do it, and then I believe the other YouTuber I seen was Mike's Powerwall. He had some older packs that he took, and he added cells to them because he was moving from his old garage setup to his new shed setup, and he was building all of his newer packs with higher cell density. So he added to his old cells. So I've seen a couple people do it. I don't know if it's right. The camera talk turned them away. It might have. People, either they got bored of watching me. But I don't know if it's right or wrong to build the packs with different pack cell densities, as long as the capacity is the same. I think that's all that really matters. But I figured if I build my packs and I have to make a couple packs a little bit bigger, a couple packs a little bit smaller, so be it. I can't complain for the free cells that I'm getting. I will say that we have probably... Whoa. I need to move that out of my way. I do have probably about 200 more laptops at work that we haven't deployed yet. So we might actually have more of these Samsung packs, laptop packs, that we haven't just decommissioned yet. And if that is the case, and I'll just build more Samsung packs, but definitely I'm going to have a mixture of Samsung and Sanyo packs. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Keith. The total capacity of each pack, match them as close as possible. This way it's easier for balancing out and all that. I don't have the luxury of only having brand new cells, or the luxury of having cells that are all, 2300 milliamp hours or higher. My packs are going to be anywhere from 1900 milliamp hours up to I believe 2200 is the highest I have. The majority of my cells are testing around 2100, with a few still being 1900 and 1800. So I may have misspoke there. Might have to go from 1800 milliamp hours all the way up to 22. I don't know how many 22 cells that I'm actually going to get. These are all very old. Another thing I haven't tested because I don't trust the opus, the internal resistance of each cell. I've not really tested that because when you do internal resistance testing on the opus, the results are just all over the place. Average Joe just released a video of the new charger that he was testing that was very, very consistent on the internal resistance, and he compared it to the opus, and the opus was, all over the place. We're talking numbers that were like 40 off 40 what's resistance, ohms, milliohms. Well, anyway, they were, the numbers were all over the place. And then he tested it with this new charger, and it was way more consistent. We're talking the difference being around 7 instead of the difference being around 40. So maybe buy one of them to test internal resistance, or I may not even worry about it and just chalk it up as I know that these cells are old, and just replace them as I get new ones, because I do work for, a school district, and now that I'm taking all the dead battery packs, I will have a constant supply of battery packs going forward, so I can always take old packs out of service and replace them with new packs, or newer packs that have a little bit better lifespan to them or whatever. I should be playing Christmas music, man. Yeah. The Opus, I'm hoping that the video Average Joe was talking about how he was going to do capacity check on the Opus and the capacity check on the new charger. I'm hoping that video doesn't make me doubt the Opus for capacity checking too much. Because right now, I'm kind of just trusting it. I know that it's off a little bit. But I'm hoping that the charger he's comparing it to doesn't make me feel like the Opus is completely unreliable. My wife is playing Christmas music on her phone. I was talking like background music or classic Christmas or something. Not like, do you want to be a snowman? I don't want any of that. You know how Pete was doing push-ups for donation. I was thinking about doing like robot dancing for donations. I don't have the cool Streamlabs set up like that he does, so that really wouldn't work out for me right now. I don't even know if you guys can hear the music or not. What the flippity flop? No. Alright. So, after that rude interruption by my wife, I'm back. And like I was saying, I hope the capacity checking on the Opus isn't completely garbage. And I'm hoping that Average Joe makes that video. And I don't cry and throw away all my Opuses and have to start all over. That would suck. Yeah, I did look at the price of it. It was not in my realm of budget at all. I don't know why for a charger the price would be that high. I mean, it's nice that you can use it as like a battery pack or whatever. I don't ever see myself using that feature, because I would just make my own battery pack, or use the battery packs that I already have. But I think it's more consistent. But if the Opus is within, like, let's say 5 to 10%, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. For the price of the Opus, I can just keep it in the back of my mind. Don't get too crazy with the cells. Keep them in line a little bit. And if it's 10% off or whatever, it's 10% off. But if it's like 30, 40% off, that would make me doubt the Opus to the point of building packs with the numbers that it gives you would make me doubt the entire pack. That kind of variation is just not reliable, and in theory, it could get dangerous. What's this battery pack thing that you're talking about? Do you have a link to it or something? You're talking about to build your own portable battery pack. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, there's other devices out there that you can buy to make your own battery packs. I don't think for an 18650 charger and capacity checker that I would just randomly walk around with it with me and use it as a battery pack. I don't know why they thought that was a good feature. I guess it's just another checkbox to put on the product, but well, if you're building packs trying to match capacity, wouldn't it be dangerous? Well, I guess if you had, I don't know. I guess I always lean on the side of caution. I don't like to go too crazy with things. Like, since it is lithium ion, and I've always felt a little bit uncomfortable with making them too far out of balance. I may be just a little paranoid. Or, here's a good idea. You just take all your lithium ions, right? Throw them in a big tub of water and wash them up first before you capacity to... Okay, don't do that. Don't do that at all. I had a buddy of mine, he wanted to take apart batteries, and he was taking a screwdriver straight through the center of the pack. I had to stop him because I didn't want to watch him blow up a pack. I say buddy, but it's really just somebody I know. But, yeah. That's a good point. If you're using the same tester on all the cells, then you should be within the tolerance. But, okay, I will say in my experience, these two Opus chargers seem to be more in line with each other. They seem to be about the same. This one on the end here, it normally test cells higher. So I know that this one's a little bit high, and these two, the first two here, are pretty okay. So it makes me kind of nervous. So let's say that they're 30%, 40% difference on actual capacity, and then you get one that's even further off, 50% off, or whatever, theoretic here. Theoretical talking here. It would make me kind of nervous. I don't know. I bought one of these two first, and then one of these two are the second. This one on the here, this one on the end is actually the last one I bought. May I help you, ma'am? You need more. You always need more. Oh. Did you get the ninja one? Did you get Will's in those? 1 second. It's not down there anymore. Do you have it? Technical difficulties. You wanna? Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. Hot dogs? Huh? That's what we had for lunch. How'd you know? Yeah, so one of these is the first, one of these is the second, and then the very last one is the third that I bought. And I bought them all from the same seller. And they were all within a few weeks of each other. But this one is definitely off. And I kind of just write it down and go with it. Because I think it's about 50 milliamps off. I didn't do like a super amount of testing, but in my brief testing, that's what it looked like. What gift? There was no gift. I don't know what you're talking about. No gifts to see here. Oh, in a stroke of bad luck, my little cell buddies fell off my stand. My cheap generic stand that I made. I have to fix this. They're sad. Boo. I have to fix that. I thought that was a cool little prop to have on my my little set here. And I broke it. What else do I have to talk about? Oh, I don't think I've showed this yet, but I did buy just a cheap set of heat shrink tubes, not for cells, just to clean up the wiring job that I did on my my desktop power supply here. When I do buy a couple more Opus chargers, I plan on adding them into the mix, and I'm going to clean up all the wiring. This giant bundle of wire here, which would normally go to the motherboard, I'm just going to desolder that and take completely off. And for the most part, the only wires coming out of that when I'm done is going to be the black and yellow. I really won't have any other usage for... I know you can do 5-volt off of it as well. I don't really have any other use for it other than the 12-volt that I'm using it for. I might do that on a live stream because that would be a short project to do. I know that I did the original modification on a live stream back before I had the video quality good and before I had the mic and all that. So with my new setup and fixing that up, that actually will probably be pretty decent and probably more enjoyable to watch than it has been before. You like my little cell buddies? Is that what you're talking about? I only have I think I have a few more colors that I can make. I know that you sent me the sample pack, but oh yeah, I have the electric blue, the clear, and I already have the electric, or not electric green, the clear green or whatever that is. I have that one. And what I'll probably end up doing, to be honest, is I'll probably get a decent sized piece of wood or something and just put the whole spectrum of colors that I have on there and keep that on my my little live stream set or whatever. Just a goofy little thing to have around. So yeah, the future plans for live streams won't always be processing cells. I know that gets kind of boring. But since I'm doing it, I'm probably going to make a lot of processing cell videos because otherwise I'm just down here talking to myself like a crazy person. And instead I can talk to you guys. What else? So we got the power supply that I'll do. More opuses that I'll do. I mentioned this briefly before in my last video, but I don't know if anybody picked up on it. I did set up a Patreon page to kind of help me out, help me get a couple more Opus chargers in place. I set the minimum Patreon supporter to $1. So $1 a month, you know, may not be a lot to you, but it'd be helpful to get something to help make the project go faster. My current calculations are around 2 months of processing cells, month and a half, 2 months. If I have more Opus chargers, I can get things done a lot faster. And I'm not asking for like, I need $1 million or anything. No, I'm just trying to offset some of the costs that I put into this stuff. Microphone, camera, Opus chargers. Start a YouTube channel, it'd be easy. I didn't realize all the stuff. I get nitpicky because I probably could have dealt with the quality of that microphone. I probably could have dialed it in a little bit better, but I get picky and I want things to be good, because I know it's more enjoyable for people to watch. If the quality of the stream is good, and the sound quality is good, more likely for people to view. So, anyway, I have a Patreon page. I set it up a little bit ago, like a couple weeks ago, and I figured eventually I'll get a couple of supporters. The cells that I don't use on my Powerwall, I'm thinking about taking the cells that are still decent capacity, let's say 1500 milliamps or whatever. I'm thinking about making like maybe a 12-volt lighting system for my chicken coop. That's one project that I would like to do on a video. And maybe have like a Raspberry Pi based automatic door for it. That would be kind of cool to have as well. And all these lower capacity cells, you know, they may not be good enough to go on my Powerwall, but I'm not going to throw them away. The only ones that I'm going to, well, not throw away, recycle. The only ones that I'm not going to use, and I probably will recycle, is anything really below 1500 milliamp hours. I think at that point they're better off recycled, truly recycled. So Panasonic Gray. I wish I had Panasonic Gray cells. Them things are awesome. I honestly, I've only seen Samsung and Sanyo out of the laptop packs that I've been getting. I did get a random brand. I don't know what brand this is. It's a CGR 18650 CE. I don't know what these are. I don't really plan on using them. Well, because they tested low, and they didn't do very good. And I don't have a lot of them. I like to try to keep it as well, thanks for tuning in, Keith. As always, you seem to always view my videos and my live streams. I greatly appreciate it. Anybody that I can send your way to help you out, I will. I think you do a great job with helping out the community get the things that they need quicker than relying on China slow shipping. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. And now you're super mod. Hey, if you want to accidentally send some of them the cell holders to me, like accidentally send them to me, I wouldn't complain. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Unless you do it, then that would be totally awesome. I'm gonna need probably, I don't even know. I'm gonna have roughly around 2100 cells total. So yeah, I'm gonna need a few of them holders. And I will be ordering them soon-ish. Soon-ish. 4 days. 4 days is a lot better than the 2+ weeks from China. I don't even remember when I ordered my last batch. but I haven't received them yet. This stream was a little bit longer than I expected. It seems like when I'm processing cells and get to jabbering, it normally lasts about 2 hours. I always tell myself I'm going to keep them around an hour, but if we're having fun or if somebody's enjoying it, then I keep going. But I'm actually going to wind this down. I don't want to keep the video too long. 2 hours seems to be pushing my limit anyway. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. That would greatly help me out. I'm still trying to get 10,000 views on my channel in total. Once I get to 10,000 views, then I can actually put my custom URL in place, and I can actually monetize my videos, which would be fantastic. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Thank you all. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Be safe. Enjoy your family. Bye.